Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's Foundations Live. This week we're looking at or speaking to some of the winners from the National Healthy Housing Awards. Right, thank you for joining us. I'm Paul Smith, I'm Director at Foundations, and we're the national body for home improvement agencies and the Disabled Facilities Grant in England. So if you need any help with anything DFG or HI related, we're here to help you because we're funded by the Ministry of Housing, Communities and Local Government to do just that. And if you're looking for closed captions and you're watching on the website, scroll down to the bottom of the page. You'll see the links for LinkedIn, Facebook and YouTube, where you can see closed captions. And as always, this is recorded, so you can watch it on demand afterwards or pass it on to somebody else to watch on demand afterwards. And it's always available on YouTube in the future as well. So just before we start meeting our winners, just a few other bits and pieces that we've got coming up, or more specifically what we've got coming up is the DFG Champions Roadshows, which will be starting next month, around about a month's time. I think it's almost exactly a month's time, where we'll be visiting Newcastle, Bristol, Manchester, Nottingham and London. We've got 3 sessions as usual. We'll be talking about adaptations in the kind of garden or kind of outside the property and some of the issues associated with those. We'll also have a session on housing without delay, which is looking at kind of how OTs can be used kind of throughout housing really to assess homes and reduce some of the demand on DFGs. And I'm looking forward to introducing the DFG Quality Mark, which is our new 75-part list of things that a good DFG should have. So we've got packs of cards that we'll be giving out to everybody that attends and going through the DFG Quality Mark with you for the first time. So most of the tickets have already gone, as ever, free of charge, but so there's a waiting list for Newcastle. I think there's a last couple of tickets left for Bristol. Waiting list is open for Nottingham. The waiting list is open but very full for Manchester. Waiting list is open for the first date on 15th of actually April in London, and there's a few places left on the 16th of April in London. So if you want to come, please do get your tickets booked ASAP. And because we kind of recognise there's a carbon footprint associated with travelling, we also plant a tree for everybody who makes it to the venue and turns up. So as soon as you check in, a tree is automatically planted. Right. As I said, today is all about meeting some of the winners from the recent National Healthy Housing Awards, which we held in central Manchester at quite prestigious Stoller Hall, just next to Victoria Station, if you know Manchester. And had a really good day just before Christmas. I'm really pleased that some of the winners are with us today. So I'll welcome first Heidi from 13 Group.
Foundations Live.
Hi Heidi, thanks for joining us this afternoon. So 13 Group, joint winners of the Social Housing Adaptations Award for 2025. Can you tell us a bit about what you think makes 13 different and why you think, well, I suppose why you entered for the award and I guess why you won it?
Yeah, I think especially over the last 2 or 3 years, 13 sort of revamped its adaptations offer for our customers and also our local authorities who we work in really close partnership with. And I think it's been a long journey and it's been a long process, and we've changed lots of processes and policies on the way. But having that collaboration with the local authorities and also from other wider teams in the 13 world, that, you know, we've done a really good job and we're in a really good place. And I think it was, you know, about time we sort of really started pushing to celebrate that and how far we have come in that journey. But we wouldn't be where we are without the team sort of behind us. And I know, as winners of the awards, it wasn't, I said on the stage, it wasn't my award, it wasn't my team leader's award, it was my operatives award, because it's them that are on the ground every day, delivering the great service that they deliver. And they were over the moon.
I think I first came across 13 probably about 6 or 7 years ago, when I was kind of very impressed with the service that you provide. What would you say is kind of the key elements of it for you that make it stand out?
I think it's just the collaboration that we have with the local authorities that we work alongside. It's the collaboration that we have with our housing services colleagues. And it's, it's the customer's journey throughout, what could be a life-changing event or a change in their medical circumstances. 13 as a landlord just want to make that process as easy and simple for customers to get what they need as soon as they can physically get it, because it's all about, future-proofing that property for that customer and making sure that they can live independently for longer in the home that they've probably always lived in. And I think that's our biggest focus as 13, is, making sure that we're there to support our customers no matter what their needs are.
What's it meant for the team? Has it? Presumably it's gone down well. Everyone.
Oh yeah, it really has. It really has, and it was really great to come back and we were sending them live updates from the day, letting them know that we'd been shortlisted and that we'd won, and they were all really grateful, because it's quite a small bespoke team made up of about 15 operatives and a work planner, and sometimes they feel like they just come in and do a job and then they go home. But I always really tend to push home with them the value that they give to our customers, and winning that award just cemented that for them, really. So yeah, they were over the moon.
Fantastic. And your kind of exec team and kind of board members, have they been in touch? And what do they think? Yeah,
especially our director of repairs and maintenance as well, Steph Lawler. She was getting live updates throughout the day, and it was all posted all over our internal Facebook that we have, that we'd been the winners, and there was lots of congratulations and lots of comments and great feedback. So yeah.
Fantastic. That's what it's all about, isn't it? So, so what have you got planned for 2026 then, to kind of build on what you've done already? Have you got any exciting new developments that you're looking to implement?
Yeah, I think mainly for us for this year, we've just obviously introduced in the middle of last year our adaptations case manager, which is our online app, where we receive our referrals and where we manage our work. So it's really just continuing to embed that and look for any improvements that we can make to that service. We'll be looking at especially for those customers that are on the waiting list for major works, to be able to send them then monthly updates on where they are on the waiting list, and having that function to be able to keep customers communicated with. Just so that they don't feel like they're just on a waiting list and they've been forgotten about. That live function will be great for us to have. So it's really just about embedding that now into our service.
Yeah, and kind of in some housing associations, adaptations have quite a low kind of priority or a low profile. Why do you think it's different in 13? Why do you think kind of the investments there and the kind of the support for adaptations?
I think it's just obviously, everyone recognising that, we do have an ageing population. We do want our customers to remain as our customers. So, we do have to sort of invest in that, just to make sure that, they can continue to live where they live, just with that little bit of help that they might need. And I think, part of 13's ethos is it's the customer at the heart of everything that we do. And this adaptation service and the service that we now have really embodies that. We work really closely with the local authorities. We work really closely even with our housing services team, right at the point of a customer viewing a new property, by us attending, making sure that it's fit for them, it's going to meet their future needs, they're not going to have to move in and then possibly in the future move again. So it's all about that, all about the customer. And I think that's why we have the great team that we have.
Excellent. Well, congratulations again, Heidi, on being joint winners of Social Housing Adaptations Team of the Year. And maybe with the things you're doing this year, maybe up again for 2026.
Fingers crossed.
Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Foundations Live.
So, moving on from one social housing adaptations winner of the year to the other joint winner, Claire from the Homes Plus group, working across Staffordshire and Shropshire. So, thanks for joining us this afternoon, Claire. So,
No, thank you, Paul.
And congratulations as well on winning that trophy back in December. What's it meant for the Homes Plus team?
It's been fantastic for the Homes Plus team. Sometimes it's when you're working a job that's quite high demand and high energy, we don't see ourselves in the greater picture of it. So for them, it's been a boost to their confidence and their value within the team. I knew our value, but to them, it's about their boost. Yeah, so it's been great for them.
Yeah, kind of being recognised as doing good stuff is always good, isn't it? Always good. So, and your kind of directors and kind of exec team, are they chuffed as well?
Yeah, very chuffed. I mean, my manager knows what value and work we do, but yes, being recognised by them as achieving this award has put us in the spotlight to say that even though we're a small team, we're a good team, and due to the amount of work that we get through and achieve, it's been a great recognition for that within our own organisation. Yeah,
and I think one of the things that kind of really stood out from your entry was the kind of joint working you have with the local authorities, and kind of, I guess, kind of particularly in Staffordshire. So you can just talk us through why you think it's kind of different for Homes Plus than it is for other housing associations.
I've always worked collaboratively. I think that's the point of any relationship, because any DFG, you have a number of factors involved, don't you? And several different teams that have their own priorities. So it's understanding what their priorities are and what their directive is. And it's about trying to find the middle ground for that, and also achieve what we need to achieve, such as a shower room, a ramp, in the most feasible route and also the most economical. So it's about collaborative working with everyone. And also if there's there's also it's the area where we might not know what the answer is. So it's about trying to find the answer that can be resolved. So I think that's what I and the other team members bring. We try and resolve the issues that we're faced with.
Yeah, and you do a few landlord applications as well, don't you, rather than the tenant always making the application?
Yes, it's potentially 90% landlord's application. Yeah,
which again is very different to most areas, I think. What have you seen as kind of from a housing association perspective as the kind of benefits of doing that for Homes Plus?
Well, for Homes Plus point of view, a landlord's application, we can standardise the specification because we also, the number that we do, we can create it being more cost effective. So we can, in a sense, become quite a large purchaser of materials. So the materials pack becomes economic. So the price of the DFGs can be driven down to a more cost effective place, and then you can do more. Yeah.
And has that kind of helped with the relationships with the council as well, kind of taking that approach? Has that made it easier to work together?
I think so, because we're cost effective, plus we standardised our specs, so the expectation of what we're going to fit for anyone, including the tenant, they know what we're going, what's going to be put into the property. Yeah.
So what have you got planned for 2026? Have you got any more developments or more of the same, or what are your thoughts for developing services this year?
Yeah, I think what I would like to do, which has always been on the back burner, or something that I feel from a personal point of view, is partnering up closer with development team and lettings. So a bit similar to the approach that Heidi said about working together about more adaptive properties that meet our larger families that have got complex needs, plus building potentially more adaptive properties, but also matching the person to the property better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think, yeah, as you say, when you kind of boil it down, it kind of spreads across all aspects of a housing association's role, really, doesn't it? Making
Yeah.
that's suitable for the people that live there. So, yeah, it always, I suppose, comes slightly surprising that some housing associations don't see it as a higher priority to do that. But as part of the awards, it was fantastic to kind of recognise two organisations that take, I suppose, that kind of more proactive view and recognise that people need houses that they can live in safely at the end of the day.
Yes, exactly. It's a home for them, but also it's, as a landlord, it's a house that we need to make sure is fit for purpose for anyone.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us today, Glenn, and sharing some of that. And say kind of congratulations to both yourselves and 13 for being our social housing adaptations teams of the year. And I think kind of being a real highlight of the day was, or kind of highlight of the process was seeing some of those processes in action and seeing that it is possible to do things a bit differently. So thank you for sharing those examples.
No problem. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Claire.
Foundations Live.
Right. So next up, I will bring up Colin. Hi, Colin.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, good to see you. So Colin won our Outstanding Achievement Award for, I suppose, kind of, it was an annual Outstanding Achievement Award, but I suppose almost become a Lifetime Achievement Award, Colin, because I think you're kind of retiring relatively soon. How long have you got left now?
Any day now. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, won't be long now.
Yeah. You're on the countdown. Have you got a tally chart next to that?
Absolutely, just the side of the screen.
So, for you, Colin, what would you say have been, kind of taking it back further than a year? What have your kind of highlights been of the last, I suppose, of your career?
Oh my goodness, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, I don't know. I've been doing this an awful long time. I came in well before the 96 Act, and I was doing adaptations under other grants in the 85 Act well before that. So it's been quite a long trek, and I've been involved in adaptations, really hit a little bit in food, food inspections and one or two other bits, but mainly involved with housing the entire time and adaptations, really. So it's been a long journey, and it's great. We're at Leeds, and I think we're the second biggest authority in the country. So it's a service that does quite a lot of work, and it's been fantastic working for them. Yeah, without any question. Yeah,
I think kind of Leeds is always seen as one of the kind of trailblazers, or one of the kind of best performing local authorities in the country. I suppose, other than yourself, Colin, obviously, what do you think is the what makes Leeds kind of an exceptional local authority? Is it kind of political support, kind of structures, or?
I think it's a mixture of a number of things. I think luckily I've been pretty well allowed to get on with it myself, and I haven't had a lot of I'd say interference, but I haven't had a lot of it's sort of with audit, finance, that I know a lot of other local authorities sometimes have quite a lot of restrictions put on them, or difficulty getting actions, or finding a way forward. Whereas we've always been pretty good with that with Leeds, and we've been allowed to set our own course. And I suppose that's really off the back of the award that was put in, was a lot of the work that we've been doing in the last few years, and certainly this last year, has been around the discretionary projects that we've been involved with. We've always had a pretty robust, effective DFG service, internal service within the council, and we've tried to make that as effective and efficient as possible. And by doing that, I think we've been able to keep a hold on the budget, that we're not overspending on DFGs, but we're keeping it equitable and fair and reasonable, all those things that we want it to be. But it has allowed us, with a bit of extra money, to get involved in quite a number of other projects, of which certainly it's come to the fore in the last 2 or 3 years, because I've become the link officer between Housing Leeds and the NHS and the ICB. And through that, we've been able to use DFG money in conjunction with ICB money and NHS money. And we've been able to do launch quite a few initiatives which has done some fantastic things, not only in housing terms, but also in health terms as well. So it's been really rewarding the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I think that's the direction of travel, isn't it, towards kind of health and neighbourhood services. So, what can you give us an example of one of those, Colin?
I mean, as I said, it's linked in. We've got a health and wellbeing strategy at Leeds, and it's all about the Leeds pound. So it isn't necessarily your pound. It's about saving money across the board, whoever it's really for. I mean, we literally have got a whole number of projects. I think 2 or 3 of the best ones have probably been that I've funded a couple of hospital caseworkers that have that are involved with finding housing solutions to move people out of hospital quickly. One of the, I think, significant bits of that sort of project that is ongoing, it's now permanent, is they're not based with me in the council, but they're based actually in the hospital at Leeds, and they sit in the discharge hub and they go onto the wards and they take housing knowledge into the hospital. And we know from the report we've done and cost analysis, they've saved Leeds' trust hospitals literally hundreds of thousands of pounds since they've been in, just by moving people out of acute beds. That's been very successful. One of the other ones I think that we're quite proud of is around paediatric asthma. We work with the paediatric clinic at Leeds General Infirmary, and we've embedded a pathway for all tenures. So when the asthma clinic, a child comes in usually overnight with severe asthma, sometimes life-threatening episodes, we put pathways in place now where housing improvements and housing repairs and around heating and insulation and the atmosphere within the property can be improved very, very quickly, actually at our cost. Sometimes we don't even bother with finding out about means testing or any of that. We just do it because it's so important. So we have quite a few kids that come through the clinic, and they put them as, it's a RAG rating. They're either red or amber are the ones that the clinic deal with. The green kids, the kids that have breathing conditions and low-level asthma, go to their doctors, and from their doctors now they can be electronically referred to Care and Repair at Leeds, who are one of our procured contractors, and it's called Breathe Easy Homes. And what happens is Care and Repair go and assess, and we put measures into their house equipment to make the atmosphere in the house cleaner, better to breathe. So we have things like HEPA filter vacuum cleaners, hypoallergenic duvets and pillows, dehumidifiers, ventilators, air quality monitors and things like that. We're just producing a report about that work now, and the results of the testimonies from the people have been absolutely fantastic about the improvements of health, about kids that were going into the doctors, were going off to their paediatric clinic, don't go any longer, and things like that. So the results from that are fantastic. We also do repair work, wind and weatherproof repair work to disabled people's houses, obviously to try and maintain their independence there. There's a whole list, I wrote a list around dementia, pregnant women. We've done joint housing sessions with health and housing staff across the whole of Leeds. We've got mental health awareness going. So you can see it's really, really heavily linked to health inequality and the NHS and the services. And we've, as I said, it's been using DFG money. If you read the RRO and Section 3, we've really been using it to the widest possible means to effect improvements across health.
Yes, I think that'll probably be the direction of travel over the next few years, in terms of kind of neighbourhoods and health. But in terms of DFG as well, I think you've also spoken at a few of the DFG Champions roadshows, and I think kind of one of the things that stands out that Leeds has probably more advanced than anybody else is kind of your kind of panel and kind of system for kind of exceptions and what's the word? Not complaints, but appeals. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. So,
yeah,
I think you were instrumental in setting that up as well, in terms of.
I think like a lot of local authorities, we have I mean, we're lucky in Leeds. It's quite a big department, it's quite a big service. I think there's about 80 odd people within the service. So, you know, we have resources, which is great. We run a weekly panel that looks at all cases that have been referred to it, and they make decisions around all sorts of things. So discretionary funding, are we going to allow funding? Are we going to allow 100%, 50%? Are we going to say no? Are we going to do a loan? We look at, because we work cross tenure, we have, obviously we've got a DFG, but we have our housing revenue account as well for all our council properties. So we do try and move a lot of people to adaptations rather than necessarily just putting more adaptations into our properties. So that panel is busy at 10 o'clock every Tuesday morning. Some people from social care might well be invited to certain cases, but they're a decision-making panel, and letters go out after that panel every week to a variety of people that have applied or, you know, or wanting adaptations. What happens from there is there's quite a robust procedure that if somebody isn't happy, that they get referred back to the panel. It's looked at again. If it's then there's a further problem still, we go to a 12-weekly independent appeal panel, which myself and somebody from adults, somebody from children's, and an independent person who's a chief executive of an outside charity comes in and sits. So and we make final decisions on things. So it could be a child case where someone's wanting an extension, and we may be wanting them to move, or there isn't reason to give up extension. And ultimately, if we say no at the independent appeal panel, they are obviously invited to go on to the Ombudsman. But it's quite a robust procedure that's well travelled. It works well. People know where they stand, and we've actually been complimented by the Ombudsman on the actual process that works pretty well. Not everybody comes out the end of it happy, but it does work well, and they obviously can go on to the Ombudsman and make a complaint if they want.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. Is you can say no to people, but it's how you say no at the end of the day. And if you followed a robust process, then the Ombudsman's never going to fall very unlikely to find fault. So what would your advice be, Colin, to perhaps somebody that's perhaps new to the DFGs and adaptations world? What would your advice be to somebody who's starting out on this road to?
I don't know, but enjoy it. Enjoy your work. I think over the years, I think we're quite lucky in the area that we're working in. There's a lot of people work in the sort of complaint enforcement area, and you know that can get quite unpleasant. Obviously, with the cases, you know, provision of adaptation sounds great, just giving somebody something, it's all straightforward, and we all know it isn't at all. It's a very highly complex area. Having said that, most of the times we're going into people's houses, and whether it's just an overbath shower, we're all the way up to a 2-story extension, you know, it's something which is enormously changing people's lives. I mean, our customer satisfaction that we run through what is going, it runs between 98 and 100% across the questions that we ask, you know, all the time. And that's because, you know, we go in and make such a difference to people's lives. I myself don't go out on visits as much as I used to do, but I do occasionally go out and or have people come into the appeal panel, and they usually attend themselves. And, you know, just to see the situation that people are in and how our work makes a difference, it's quite rewarding. So it's a pretty good place. It's pretty good sort of business to work in, I think.
Yes, yeah. I think the DFG legislation came in the month that I started work, and I haven't been able to escape it since, which is probably more by judgment than luck. But so how were the team when you got back? Were they kind of chuffed for you as well?
Yeah, I mean, I hope, but honestly, you know, this isn't just me. Obviously, it's other people as well, and it is really. I know it's like on behalf of the service for everything, because we've got some fantastic people in Leeds and people that have been here a long time. And some of the design work they've done around children's cases and things like that is absolutely brilliant. And I mean, one of the other things that say in the past we've been involved in is the complex children's cases, and it just never ceases to amaze me how you know, we can spend what we think is quite a lot of money. But then if the child went into any form of residential care, how quickly that money would be you know, it would be lost and gone. You know, within something we're spending almost hundreds of thousands of pounds on, it's literally weeks and months of a child in care. So it would be good for other bodies and agencies to recognise the usefulness of adaptations and embrace that, because, as I think the old strapline, adaptations save money. So yeah, if we could get that out there, it would be really, really good.
Yeah, I think kind of £100,000 always seems quite a lot, doesn't it, in terms of a DFG? But in terms of social care or health, it's dropping the ocean.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Colin, and best wishes for your retirement. I'm sure everyone joins me saying thank you for all your input, expertise, and I suppose kind of from our perspective, being so open to kind of sharing it and helping to guide others around the region and around the country. And I know that's always really appreciated, your kind of time and knowledge and experience as part of that. So I think from everybody on the call, thank you, and all the best for the future.
Thank you. Thanks very much, Paul. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Thank you, Colin. Thank you. Right, so that was Colin from Leeds, who's spoken at many DFG Champions Roadshows and Foundations Lives before, and kind of shared his knowledge and expertise. So looking for some of you to kind of step up and take those speaking slots and come share your knowledge as well. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. But next up, there we go. I will welcome, if I can find the right button, I'll welcome Kirsten.
Foundations Live.
There we go. Hi, Kirsten. From the lovely Test Valley. Caseworker of the year. So, Kirsten, who nominated you? Did it come as a surprise, or were you kind of part of the process? Oh, yeah. Oh.
See, not very good at technology, am I?
There we go. Can hear you now.
It was my manager, Matt Laws, who nominated me for the award. I believe he did that around the summertime, so it was quite a surprise when I got an email to say that he put me forward. So it was quite overwhelming to sort of read what he'd written about me and the work that I do. And it's really nice to have that sort of recognised, really. I know he says it a lot, and the team do, and that's really nice. But without their support and their encouragement and all their technical abilities and their advice, obviously I wouldn't be able to do what I can do now. But yeah, it's a great little team, and goes to all of us, really. But it was a pleasant surprise.
Excellent. You didn't go shouting, what the hell have you done? It was
I might have done a little bit.
Okay.
But no, it was
so can you tell us a bit about your role then, Kirsten? Where does your kind of where do you pick the process up, and what's
so it's kind of like from the beginning, really, when we get the initial referral for an inquiry to have a grant, or even if it's just for a means test before we get a referral. Is looking at the means testing, or whether they're in receipt of a qualifying benefit, and then going through that first part of the process. If they are eligible for a DFG, then obviously the referral is set up and allocated to a technical officer. And then also throughout that, I might go and do joint visits with officers. I might do my own trusted assessor cases. So to kind of speed up the process of receiving some referrals, I might do the more basic, less complex stairlift cases, or some level access showers. So within that as well, I can do the needs testing and just fast track those cases right through. And then it would be obviously once, works, plans and schedules have been put together, or I might arrange the quotes. It's then working with the technical officers when the case is ready for an application, going through all the application paperwork, any financial documents that's needed, identification, but kind of like throughout those, whether it's conversations over the phones, visits, or meeting people out in the community when we do represent the sort of council in sort of like organisations where it might be a carer event and networking and things like that. It's just engaging with people at those times, and there might be a lot more to it than just adapting the property. It's the wider picture, working with the person itself and putting them at the heart of everything, really, and their families and carers and friends that were involved. So really, it's starting from the very beginning to the very end, is that you're kind of doing that hand holding if it's needed, just offering the right advice, stepping in and out at the right time if that suits them. It's just knowing that I'm the constant point of contact if they need it throughout that whole journey of their grant, really. And
I think that's so important, isn't it? So,
yeah, definitely, because some people, just with any services involved, is just like a minefield for them. So hopefully, just with that little bit of encouragement, that, you know, even if it's little steps at a time, that's something that I can support them with, really.
Yeah, and you give us a kind of an example case, something where you kind of feel you made a real difference over the last year or so.
Yeah, there's a few, really, but there's one particular kind of, there's certain people that kind of stick out for you as well, in that it was a case that came through for an urgent stair lift for a gentleman. So I did the trusted assessor for this and the means testing at the same time. Regrettably, wasn't eligible for a DFG, but we could look at some discretionary funding. But the family were quite distressed. He was very, very poorly, and probably not a lot more poorly than what kind of everybody realised. So it's working really closely with his wife and his daughter, and then just trying to work with housing associations, because it was for a stair lift and in the end also a level access shower, and just working as quick as we can with getting permissions, getting asbestos surveys, getting contractors out, getting, you know, a really good lead time from a contractor when they could start, express the urgencies of this works to be done, and just, you know, things like adding telecare into it, because there was a lot of times where he was quite breathless, feeling unwell, wasn't able to get out of his chair very often. So it's just having that support for the family, knowing that, you know, they've got the telecare in place if he felt unwell, if they were out of the shots or anything like that. It's even like we talked about moving his sort of bedroom around a bit, because where he was trying to get out of the bed was in a really tight little slot. And it was just like, you know, just kind of move one set of drawers from the other side of the bed and move it. But it was just really basic stuff that when you're used to that situation and that environment being that way for so long, that's kind of what you get adjusted to. And sometimes it's just making those small tweaks as well to just make life a little bit easier, and the simplest of things to do that can actually make such a big difference. And yeah, it was just obviously working with housing. The grant officer did joint visits with them so that we could get the case through as quick as possible. The contract was great. They were really efficient. We got out in really short, you know, time scales to do the works. And then afterwards, the family were just so grateful, really grateful. And that, you know, sadly, the gentleman has passed away since. And it was still working with the daughter and her mum to just, you know, I think they just had that benefit of having that property adapted for them, did all they could whilst they could. And it was then about what's going to work for mum now. You know, is this property where she wants to stay? Does she want to move? So I sort of link in with the lettings team within our department, and, you know, kind of got a bit of advice and support from them. And then kind of eventually, just recently, the daughter has now put her mum onto the register to look at a property that's more suitable for her, and she's ready to move. And then we've got an adapted property, a 3-bedroom, rather than one person being in a 3-bedroom adapted property with a level access shower and a stair lift. And hopefully we can now match that property to somebody that really needs it and continue to use that funding that was used for that grant. And then hopefully, you know, the wife can set up and start somewhere new.
Yeah, fantastic. So in terms of kind of the wider team or kind of the wider council, have you been meeting councillors and directors, and what's happened since you got back?
I mean, everyone in the team has been amazing. The whole of the department have got loads of emails. I mean, they were printing the posters off and putting them up to the door, and wherever I went, there was a poster and things. So no, it was really lovely. It's lovely to get. It's actually really nice for the team to be highlighted, because we're a tiny team, and although we deal with the grants, there's other streams to that team that's done. You know, lots of licensed HMOs, you know, damp and mold complaints. There's all sorts that the team does. So we're tiny, and we've been highlighted a bit more. And it just, if anything, it just makes you want to continue for the team to do really well and to help as many people we can, and just put people at the heart of everything.
Fantastic. That's kind of part of why we do the awards, is that, kind of recognising often unsung heroes like yourself, and kind of encouraging that, encouraging more of the good work that you do, I guess. And I think kind of caseworkers have a little bit gone out of fashion, but I think they're so important to the process that certainly as part of the Good Home Hubs and some of the work we've been doing with the Centre for Ageing Better around with the Good Home Network, I think kind of there's a growing recognition again that actually a good caseworker is an essential part of the process. It's not a nice to have, it's kind of an essential part of delivering a really good service. So it's always good to kind of recognise casework as part of the awards.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations, Kirsten.
Thank you very much.
Where does the trophy sit? Have you got it home, or is it up in the office?
So I have brought the glass trophy. I've sort of two. Got the glass trophy, that's at home now, and I've got my certificate on my desk.
Fantastic.
So,
best of both worlds. Great. Well, congratulations again, and thank you for joining us today.
Thanks very much. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye.
Foundations Live.
Right, where are we next? So next, it's time to go to Ealing. Hi, Rose.
Hi.
Hi. Thanks for joining us from. How's the weather in Ealing today? Is it wet and windy?
It's wet and windy, yes.
Okay. I think it probably is everywhere. So, Rose from Ealing Home Improvement Agency of the Year. So, I think the whole team were chuffed.
They were very.
Yeah. So, how's it been? How's it been since you got back to Ealing? Has it gone down well?
Yes, it has. We've been recognised by Adult Social Care, because we don't sit with Adult Social Care. We've been recognised by our chief exec. We've been recognised by our directors, and we've actually had some really good response from our contractors and our residents as well. Fantastic.
So tell us a bit about Ealing HI and why you think it's. I suppose why you nominated yourselves for HI of the Year.
I'd say it's my team. Like my predecessors who've just spoken, our HI are nothing apart from our team. Our team makes everything. So our team is multidisciplinary. We're made up of OTs, surveyors, trusted assessors, administrators, handy person coordinators, and contractors. And we try and deliver our service so that it's completely customer focused. So we empower our residents, or we try and empower our residents to remain safe and independent within their own home. And we basically try and not say no. So we say yes to everything that we can possibly do. Like Colin was saying, what we try and do is we have a panel. We discuss our cases if we've got an issue, or if there's a complaint, or if they're not happy with the service that we're providing. And then we work on it. We identify what's wrong, and we see how we can improve it. So just moving forward, but we identified there's a real need for like a mental health OT, or a Alzheimer's or dementia. So we're currently looking at doing something along those lines, and working with our adult social care and our NHS partners to try and integrate that into how we deliver DFGs and what would be best practice for them and for us as well. That's what we just keep doing. We keep evolving and developing. We realised that our surveyors were going out on their own, and sometimes they needed to be assisted by the occupational therapist. So we made all our handy person contractors, most of our contractors, and our surveyors trusted assessors. So they wouldn't need to necessarily go out with an occupational therapist, freeing up the occupational therapist time. So we're just always trying to evolve and change the way we do stuff and use our RRO to do everything that we possibly can.
Yeah, I think that's the key. I think for any good service, it's that kind of evolving, continually improving. Is that something you've just kind of always done, or is
yeah?
Where does that come from? Do you think? Because I think you certainly see some services that maybe do exactly the same as they did 10 years ago. So where does that kind of impetus to carry on improving come from? Do you think?
One of the other HIAs got in contact with me, and I was talking to them this morning, and it's funny how all HIAs have the same issues with the complaints and the same issues with and adult social care always trying to steal our funding and etc. etc. I've been fortunate enough to have my predecessors think the same way as I do. I've been in this job for over 10 years as a manager, but I've been in the home improvement agency for over 25 years, and in my whole time, it's always been, right, what can we do next? I mean, we set up our handy person service over 15, 20 years ago, and that has just developed and taken off and keep extending and keep going. And we do hospital discharges and fire safety and energy efficiency and everything else that we can possibly think of doing to allow that person to remain in their home. Our handy persons also do home safety checks, and they also are signposters. And if we can see something, or if someone comes up with an idea, it's never a no. It's like, okay, let's see how we can integrate that into our service.
Yeah. So what have you got coming up this year? Have you got some plans for some new services, or kind of evolving the existing ones?
I'm meeting with the ICB tomorrow, but we're moving forward with the AI technology and see how we can integrate that into our homes that we deal with. So that could be the handy persons, or that could be the DFGs. We're working with the adult social care and with the ICB because they've got a pilot scheme going. We're seeing how we can adapt that. We're looking at the new mental health OT, someone that we can have within our service, but we're also looking currently adult social care hold the wait list, have the wait list. And we did a fast track triage service last year, which worked really well to fast track any equipment that we could possibly do, like stair lift, through floor lifts, ceiling track hoists. So my idea is to have an OT sit within our team that deals with just the DFG. And not the current one that works with us, but the one that works with adult social care, so that they can go through the extensive wait list that adult social care hold, pull out all the cases that have already been triaged and can be done as a DFG, and then pull them through and pass them through to us. We're recruiting for a new survey. So if there's anyone out there that wants to come join my team. And then we're also looking, we're actually looking at the quality mark. So currently, we still use the processes that we did with the quality mark and the ISO that we were involved with for many years. So we're looking at the quality mark again, because that would help us even streamline our processes even more than we do now. And then the last bit that we're looking at is we currently, and I use this word generously, we pimp out our service at the moment to other departments within the councils, because we have got a whole multidisciplinary team. So we're looking at expanding that and helping out. So we've just had a query today for the refugee settlement team asking us if they could use our expertise for all of it, for the principal designer, the CDM regulator, the occupational therapist, and the surveyor, and if we can work with them. So yeah, we're looking at expanding our team and making it basically the home improvement agency will be Ealing Council.
You can take over Ealing, then take over the world. Yeah, but so what does it mean for you in particular as kind of the manager and leader of the team to kind of be recognised as the?
no, we had a visit from the MHCLG, and I was very passionate about how I deliver my service, and our team is as well. Where it's all about the compassion and the empathy, but it's also we want to see things done and we want to see things deliver. And as I said to the lady at the MHCLG when I gave them my thoughts on what their formula was, working out what our money is. We are only as best as what we receive in the money terms, but also what we deliver out. So if we don't have that passion to do it, then we could just be delivering DFGs. That person remains in their home for maybe a couple of years, and then that's it. We want to see them live and empower them. So yeah, I'm passionate about that, and I know my team are as well.
Fantastic. Well, it was great to celebrate your achievements with the award. So congratulations to you and the rest of the team as HIA of the Year for 2025.
Thank
So,
you.
and hopefully we'll may see you again for this year's awards.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Thank you, Rose.
Thank you.
Foundations Live.
Right. So last but not least, I will welcome Ken and Helen from Sunderland. So because we've got a slightly hold on, let me rearrange that. There we go. Let's rearrange. Let's see you both. So thank you both for joining us. How's the weather up in Sunderland? Is it wet and windy up there as well?
It's wet and windy here as well, Paul.
Yeah.
Okay. Wet and windy everywhere today. So thank you for holding on. And so you're our Foundation's Independent Living Trust Partner of the Year for the work you've done on delivering gas safe repairs and improvements over the last year. So tell us a bit about your kind of approach at Sunderland and why you kind of felt it was important to get involved with filter gas safety.
Well, I think you've got to look at last year's success. You've got to go back a bit further, Paul. We first started doing gas safety scheme about 5 years ago, so we're quite late to the party really compared to some other local authorities. And when we first started, it was just £500 to support people. And what I found back then, it was very difficult to deliver because we were a team who were extremely busy delivering our DFJs and other services.
Yeah.
And what seemed like a relatively small budget came along, and seeing the stuff you've got to remember when you go out to deliver another service, and stuff was sort of forgetting. And as the year was getting close at the end, we realised we weren't hitting the outputs to even spend that money. So we were having to dig deep and try and actively find customers, and they were difficult to find because people didn't normally talk about the gas appliances and issues with them. So it was difficult to get the money spent, and then it was a case of, do we put ourselves through that for year two? And we just looked at the few customers we had supported and realised what a difference it made to them, and certainly over safety issues. And so we continued, and year two became a little bit easier, and it was a case of trying to educate staff and keeping it at the forefront by having it in the team meetings and reminding staff that they must be seeking out customers, supporting them, and embedding that in our day-to-day processes. And that sort of evolved over the years, and we kept going back for more budget. We're spending it quicker as people started to realise what we did. Helen's responsible for a lot of networking with our partners, and last year really took off. A lot of people are getting referred into us now because they're finding people got broken boilers. Nominations are coming from the council, and we're working with them on their hardship fund. So we've got some joint funding arrangements in place. We've also got winter warm packs and emergency heaters, and it's all linked to the same area, and it's just taken off. As I say, it took 5 years to get here, and now it's almost self-generating. We keep coming back and saying, I know we've got that budget, can we have a little bit more? And it's a total pleasure to see what we do and the amount of new boilers we've put in for people where they've had nowhere else to go. And we've worked with joint funding arrangements where, the utility companies as well as the local authority, and the gas safe money has been absolutely brilliant. Yeah,
I think it's getting more and more difficult, isn't it, to find other funds for gas boilers and gas repairs as we move to more kind of renewable systems that can be quite a lot more expensive.
I think a lot of people have been through ECO as well and didn't qualify for the EPCs. A lot of people want new boilers, but sometimes they don't actually need one. If we can get an engineer out and just repair their existing one, it's sort of small scale repairs that they need, not a whole new heating system. So the gas safety schemes allowed us to do some of them small scale repairs where they were actually asking for whole new systems and they didn't need them.
Yeah. Yeah. So is there kind of any cases that spring to mind, Helen, as particularly memorable in the last year or so?
Yeah, we've had one. We've had quite a few through, but the one that springs to mind is we were doing a DFG for level access shower for somebody that needed that from the OT service, and I think they were telling us they hadn't been able to service their boiler for over 5 years. You know, on means tested benefit. So we serviced the boiler, and when the engineer went out, he said their boiler was so unsafe. The trap was broken and was unsafe, and he was going to have to disconnect them, and he was going to have no facilities at all to bathe or use hot water or heating. But because they got safety money, it was just a small £170 repair enabled us to get that fixed and from not be disconnected and from to continue having access to heating and hot water. But there's loads of different examples. We've got loads of people that phone in, you know, the boiler's losing pressure and they think they need a new one because the boiler's, like say, losing pressure all the time. But actually, they don't. They just need a small repair. We've replaced pressure relief valves. We've put leak sealant in the systems to seal leaks, and that's, you know, fix the problem. So it's been quite a lot of small scale repairs where people are kind of in a dire situation and think they've got no heating and hot water, and they're really worrying about the weather and how they're going to manage. But the small scale repairs managed to fix it quite quickly.
Fantastic. And in terms of, I suppose, kind of the award and how that's gone down at the council, has kind of lots of people been in touch and congratulating you locally? Yeah.
I think initially with the team, they were dead excited that we were nominated, and to be nominated by Foundations Independent Living Trust, the board itself, you know, it was extra added value because that was somebody outside of our service nominating us, you know, so that went down really well with the staff. Again, when we're at the awards, they wanted to be updated. Have we won? You know, and when we got back, you know, the team was buzzing. I've never seen them like that before. They were so excited, especially our business support team who do a lot of the background work. You know, they were dead excited. They couldn't wait to see the trophy. They got the photographs of us accepting the award up on the wall. You know, we've got a little frame now and photographs on of the team. You know, it's just got much more pride in the team and the work we do. And it was really nice to see the way they reacted. Our company, we're a local authority trading company. We belong to Sunderland City Council, but we Sunderland can support. Within our trading company, you know, our chief operating officer was over the moon. It's gone round on our team briefs throughout the company to raise the profile of what we do as a team. It's obviously fed into the Sunderland Council, you know, and Housing have been commenting. We do a lot of joint working with Housing on their hardship fund around the boilers and that. And we're talking about more joint funding going forward, you know, on the back of this. So I think the whole thing's been very positive, and it certainly raised the profile of the team and what we do.
Fantastic. And so in terms of 2026, what are you kind of looking forward to? Have you got new initiatives or challenges for 2026 that you're thinking about at the moment?
Well, I'm very much like Colin, you know, I'll be retiring shortly. So the team will go on, I'm sure, from strength to strength. You know, there'll be a new manager coming in. But I think we've got a brilliant foundation in the team. The work we deliver, we'll continue to do that. I know we were looking at developing, getting case manager in because we still work on spreadsheets and things. And I think it's important we modernise a bit, you know, and that is in the pipeline to do. Hopefully in the next year, we'll get that embedded into the team. We'll continue to deliver the services we've been doing to our customers and try to expand on them, you know, and we're doing a lot more networking now, raising the profile. We had a meeting this morning with the local food bank, and our caseworkers are going to nominate directly in for food vouchers now. So we'll be recognised, assessors really in nominating in and checking people's income and that and ensuring they qualify for the service. And we'll just continue to develop as we go along. You know, it's quite exciting times, and I certainly think we should be going in for more awards. You know, in Sunderland we do a lot of work, and you know, we've just been getting on with it, and we haven't been asking for any recognition. And I think seeing the reaction of the team, I think it's very important that, you know, we do share good practice, and good practice is recognised throughout the country. You know, so I'd encourage any home improvement agency to just start putting in for more awards. You know, it's good for staff morale, it's good for raising profile. And it's certainly good for sharing, you know, good practice, you know, throughout councils and the local authorities throughout the country.
Fantastic. That was a fantastic way to wrap it up. Thank you for that. Yeah, I think, if anybody's watching and is inspired to enter for this year, entries will be open as usual around June. And we'll have the awards ceremony again, Manchester in December, which is always a lovely way to end the year. And it was fantastic to kind of reward Sunderland for the work you've done on Gas Safe and everything else over the last couple of years. And best wishes to you as well, Ken. Thank you for contributed over the years. Always been good to connect with Sunderland. So best wishes for the future, and congratulations to you both.
Right, thank you.
Thank you.
Foundations Live.
Well, so I've enjoyed today. It's nice having a chat with winners from the awards. As I say, the National Healthy Housing Awards entries for 2026 will be open a little bit later in the year. And as Ken said, why don't you apply and get all those benefits, both for your team, your profile, and I guess for yourself individually as well. If you're kind of a team leader, it definitely helps to raise your profile. And another thing that helps to raise your profile is coming to speak at things like Foundations Live, our DFG Champions Roadshows, and a range of other events and conferences that we host during the year. It's always fantastic to hear from people who are actually delivering the service and have good case studies, good practice to share. So if there's ever anything that you would like to present, just get in touch. I'm sure we'll put you in somewhere. If you've particularly got case studies around doing DFGs or adaptations in the garden or outside, we'd love to feature those at the upcoming roadshows. But whatever you do, please come and speak.
Everyone's got a story to tell, a lesson learned, a moment you know so well. Don't keep it hidden, don't lock it away. The world needs your voice today. Step on up, don't be afraid. Every word is a path you've made. Come and speak, we wanna hear. Come and speak, your voice is clear. Come and speak, tell us how. Come and speak, show us now. Come and speak and tell the world what you're all about. You've got wisdom, you've got fire inside. What you discover could change someone's life. It's not about perfect, it's not about fame. It's about lifting up every name. Step on up, don't hold it back. What you share is the thing we lack. Come and speak, we wanna hear. Come and speak, your voice is clear. Come and speak, tell us how. Come and speak, show us now. Come and speak and
come and speak from our new album, which is out on the 20th of February. But yeah, if you do ever want to come and speak, please just get in touch, and yeah, it'd be fantastic to share what you do. Thank you to all our winners who have joined us today and shared some of their expertise. In terms of things we've got coming up, as well as the road shows, we've got a couple more Foundations Lives coming up over the next few weeks. So on the 24th of February, we'll be talking about council house adaptations, and on the 10th of March, we'll be talking about least restrictive practice. So 24th of February for council house adaptations, 10th of March for least restrictive practice. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back next month. We'll be on the road for the DFG Champions Roadshows throughout February, March and April. Hope to see you at one of those. Thank you again. See you soon.